Thought I saw a girl brought to life.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna do this vlog that I've been postponing for a long time. It is an update of my 1-year anniversary here in San Francisco. Yes, so on May 2nd, I have lived in San Francisco for 1 year. So I think it all really started from my vlog that I didn't really think about. I just, as I vlog normally and record whatever happens in my life, and I moved to San Francisco, right? So I uploaded that vlog, and then I think I called it moving to San Francisco because that's what I did. And so that video is almost has 10,000 views. And I feel so bad for everyone that watched that, because maybe you would think, like, going to that video, like, oh, this is gonna be a very descriptive video of moving to San Francisco and like all the tips and suggestions, and it's not really. I mean, I go and check out one apartment, but that's it. So I have written down things that I would want to know if I'm moving somewhere or to San Francisco, so I can help you with your move, because that's really what I feel so bad about. Like, people probably click onto that video like, oh my god, like, yes, I want to know what I need to know when I move to San Francisco. So this video is going to be an update of my life in San Francisco in 1 year, and I will let you know what I like, what I dislike, and all the challenges that I encountered when I moved here. So hopefully I can share my experience with you when you move to San Francisco. So I really hope that this video is going to be way better than that one, although, like, I don't know, 10,000 views is just crazy to me, like, what? So anyways, I will jump right into the questions. So as you already know, I moved into a different place now. So I've lived in 2 places in San Francisco. When I moved here, I was in a relationship where we both wanted to move in together. We did a long distance relationship, so the whole plan was for him to move to San Francisco, but then that didn't happen. So when I picked my apartment, I was really just kind of had a budget, and I said, okay, this is my budget. I'm just gonna go for the first apartment that I like and that is convenient in, transportation wise to work and all that. And that was really it. So it wasn't really like an apartment that I would go for normally, because I do like modern apartments and more like minimalistic design. And that apartment was like obviously very like an older building, like most apartments and buildings in San Francisco, if you don't live like downtown or in Soma, where you have so many new constructions, but also living in Soma is pretty expensive. So I moved in with a roommate, shared bathroom with my roommate. We had shared living room, kitchen, of course, and then I had my private room. He had his private room, and then we shared the bathroom. And I paid $1,600 for that room. Yeah, this is San Francisco, okay? This is very expensive. So I paid $1,600 a month for a room, and that's without the utilities. That was also an inner Sunset. So inner Sunset and Sunset in general is the area below the Golden Gate Park. And then if you live above the Golden Gate Park, that is called Richmond. So I have a few questions here that I wrote for everyone, what I thought about when I moved here. So now that I moved, obviously when I moved to this apartment, it was more so kind of like, okay, I'm really gonna look for an apartment that I really want to live in, and like that is more me. And so now I live in Daly City, which is south of San Francisco. It's not even called San Francisco anymore. So my new area is called Daly City. So it's the city underneath San Francisco if you look at a map. So oh, and I also, it's the same situation, but like obviously like it's a better looking apartment, super modern, and it has a gym in the complex. It's a gated community. You get 1 parking spot for free, basically. It's not like you don't have to pay extra for anything. And what else? It has like an outside area, has a rooftop area, and like a common like country club room, which is for if you want to rent it for birthdays and all that. So it's a really great apartment, and I pay $1,300 for my room. So see, it's still up there, but I'm saving $300. And public transportation is also very, very accessible from here too. So how to look for roommates. Okay, so I have no problem using Craigslist. I know some people may feel a little bit hesitant about it and like they're concerned of all the freaks that are out there, and I get that, but that's actually how I went and saw a few places, through Craigslist. I guess I'm very careless and think that nothing bad will happen to me, so I think that's probably not the best quality in me, but that's how I go about things. So I never really think that, oh my god, this guy's gonna kill me, or this guy's gonna, you know, rape me, or, you know, like I just don't think like that. So usually I reach out. Obviously, like I have to talk to the person first, so like make sure you get the contacts, like the phone number. And I usually go with like social media stuff. Like I would always say like, oh, do you have your social media channels? Like, can I check your Facebook or your Instagram, you know, because that makes it more real. So I would just go that route, kind of like getting the social media profiles of the person that you're talking to, or that you're gonna go and see the apartment of. But also, of course, if you have someone that can go with you, that would help as well. I didn't really have anyone because I don't know anyone here. So I went and saw like a few places, and then the one in Inner Sunset I found through Facebook. So there's also a lot of Facebook groups that you can look into. So usually you can just do like apartment hunting in San Francisco, and you'll see like a bunch of groups, and then you can just like kind of request access to that group, and then they always have listings of rooms and roommate needed, and roommates needed, or rooms, you know, for rent and all that. I think that Facebook is probably one of the best profiles to go through, you know, where they're from, and you know, like we all know Facebook, okay? Like I know you know what Facebook is. That's probably my only suggestion and my only tip that I can give you as far as finding roommates. How to look for areas in San Francisco. Okay, so if you're not from San Francisco, so if this is the map and you have two bridges, right? So you have over the Golden Gate Bridge, you have Sausalito, and then over the Bay Bridge, you have Oakland. Up in the city of San Francisco, it's gonna be more expensive than any other areas. I'm obviously not an expert on areas. Daly City is even like, not expensive, but I mean, I still pay $1,300 for a room, you know, and I'm still like, I'm not even in the city downtown. So it's still pretty expensive. San Francisco is a very expensive city. So for sure you're gonna live with a roommate. I mean, if you're not, like, I don't know, like, of course, if you have like a lot of money, you probably have the luxury to live by yourself. But it's very usual to meet like grown-ups having roommates, which is funny. Mission is in downtown, or it's close to downtown. It's very like Latin influenced. So just a lot of Latin restaurants and pubs and clubs. And then you have downtown is more like bankers and finance district, and then Marina is close to the water, and it's like the fancy area. And then you have like hipster area, which is probably, sorry, I'm like not an expert on this, like honestly. Oakland is over the Bay Bridge, and I actually considered living there. I just feel like that bridge make it like further out, you know? And so I didn't really go for that. I didn't take the risk to live in Oakland, but I feel like Oakland is really growing, and it's becoming very hipsterish, and have super cute, like, well, I have only been there twice, but it has really cute restaurants and up and coming restaurants and up and coming areas. And can't really, like, I'm sorry, but I can't really, I guess, help you with the areas. You just have to check. And you will see a lot of apartments downtown when you like see studios in downtown, and you're like, oh my god, this is actually pretty good pricing. Be careful, because if you are close to like Union Square, it's called Tenderloin, which is probably like one of the shadiest areas in the city. And I say that, like, I don't know crime-wise, I obviously don't know what's going on over there, but like there's a lot of homeless people and a lot of drugs out there. And sometimes obviously they don't even word it as Tenderloin, they like downtown, or they call it like Union Square, or like, you know, they try to kind of change the name of it and make it seem like you're living downtown. It depends on what you want and what you're used to. If you want to live in the city and you want to walk, and you work in the city and you want to walk, you will have to see drugs every day, like, and homeless people every day. That's just the way it is. If you're thinking of moving to San Francisco, and this is obviously like, if you're thinking of moving anywhere, I would obviously suggest going there first. I mean, I had a long distance relationship before I moved here, so I would come out here. We would fly out from back and forth from San Francisco, San Diego. So I already like spent a lot of time in San Francisco. So I already knew that I would be okay by living here. You know, like when you move to a different city, a new city, you kind of like feel adventurous, and that's how I felt in the beginning. But again, I was in a long distance relationship. I couldn't fully enjoy my experience last year, but now I am not. I'm single, so I feel like I do go out more, and I do kind of try to enjoy my time here in San Francisco more. How expensive is it really? Well, we went to Napa, for example, last weekend, and just like buying a coffee, like you just see the difference in prices. Like the coffee was like probably $2 or $3, and here's like $4 to $5. This is simple coffee. And like just little things like that obviously adds up. And so if a coffee costs that, imagine like if you're going out and having dinner or lunch. Like it is very expensive. The city is expensive. Like buying a house here is like over $1 million probably to buy a house. It's very hard to kind of like dream and having goals here, and like your future goals and future like professional goals here in the city, because it's so frustrating that everything is very expensive. Like just thinking about like buying an apartment here is like $800,000 or more. It's just crazy to me. So what do I think about San Francisco a year later? I honestly, I love my job and I love my life right now, but this city is not my city. I don't think I would live here forever. I don't want to settle down here. Second thing is the homeless situation. Homeless people exist everywhere, okay? So in San Diego, there was a lot of homeless people as well. And here it's just crazy. Like I feel like it's way more, and just the mental health of homeless people here is probably way up there. Like in San Diego, the homeless people were like, I always say, like they were always like chill. Like I would never feel unsafe walking by a homeless person in San Diego. You would still have that like human interaction with the homeless person. They would smile and you would smile back, or if you have money you would give it to them, and they're just like, it was a different kind of homeless. And I hate to say that, like, I mean, obviously I wish there was no homeless people, but it is a real thing and it's happening, right? So, but here in San Francisco, I just feel like the mental health piece is way up there. Like I think that the drug situation is also very, very important when it comes to the homeless situation in San Francisco. So it's kind of scary. Like I just think that the homeless situation is heart-wrenching. Like it really makes me sad to see a person that is obviously not mentally okay lives on the street. Like again, I don't think that homeless people should even be a thing, but it is. It's just on a whole nother level. Like I've seen like people going crazy, and like I was attacked the first week that I moved here. So I was going to a bank from the hotel. I was walking to a bank because I needed to like cash out a check, and I like made the terrible mistake to smile towards a homeless person walking towards me, and I got attacked. Like she had this like bag. It was like a, you know, like the brown bag. She was like hitting me with a brown bag, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry, I just smiled, you know? So, but again, it's not her fault, right? She's probably mentally ill. Like, it's just a mental illness here it's a thing, and you won't avoid it. Like if you come to the city, like you are going to see some mental illness for sure on the street. And then the public transportation, I guess like public transportation is like better now for me personally. So I was taking Muni before, and it was so unreliable. Like so many times it would like not work, or it would be delayed, and it was so unreliable, like crazy. And just standing up for 30 minutes in heels. And that's another thing. Guys will not give you the seat here. Like, and I'm sorry, like I guess like I can't be feminist in all areas. That doesn't really fit my feministic view on life. Guys should give me the seat. But at the same time, like not once have a man given me the seat here in San Francisco. It's crazy. So that was like one thing. I'm like, okay, well, that's great. But just like imagine yourself like 30 minutes in a Muni, standing up in heels, and like people breathing in your face. It's just, it's terrible. Now I take the bus, and it's actually pretty okay. And since I live so far away from the city, like I can sit down, finally sit down, and like usually I sleep or listen to podcasts. And then dating people and fashion. Okay, so one thing that I actually haven't got yet from San Francisco, I just don't know what native San Francisco look like what is the culture of San Francisco. And you know, like, I know the history, it's very Asian influenced. I mean, it's because of its history, right? So there is a lot of like an Asian heritage in San Francisco, but I don't know what other culture is here, because now it's this whole like tech boom, right? So you have all these companies coming in, all the techies coming into the city, taking over, and all these people are obviously not from San Francisco, they're from somewhere else. But then you get kind of like culture versus like profession. So now we have San Francisco City with this massive like techie industry making this new culture, which I can't really put a finger on it. What is it? And obviously that impacts the city. Like, all these techies are taking over, and so the fashion is very like laid back. Like, you never really dress up in the city. Well, I still dress up. I don't care where I live. I always like, you know, to dress up and kind of, you know, do my hair and makeup. But it's not a thing here. So you don't really dress up in the city. You just go with jeans. Like a lot of offices kind of like have that like light rule as well. Like, you can go in and work in your jeans or in your sweats or with hats. You know, it's just no really like fashion restriction. And then dating, of course, like, it's also another scene that, you know, you have this like techie influence, and you meet a lot of software engineers. And I don't want to put everyone in the same category, but I think that techies or people that work with IT usually don't have the social interaction that, you know, another industry would have. And I think that kind of affects the social interaction that you have with people. So like, when you date people or when you go out and meet people, like, some people have that like social regard of like not being so sociable, and you kind of like miss those like social skills. And I'm not saying I'm the best either. I'm actually an introvert, so, but I'm just saying, like, you can sense that. Like, I've only lived in San Diego before, so I can only compare to San Diego, but definitely there is a lot like a social skill missing when you meet people out there. So yeah, so that's really it. Please feel free to ask me questions and send me DMs. Any questions that you have if you're moving to San Francisco, I'm more than happy to help you. Yeah, I mean, I'm overall happy, and I signed the lease for this apartment for 1 more year, so I am happy, and I'm gonna stay here for another year in San Francisco, and I'm just gonna make the best out of it and enjoy it to the fullest. It's right now, it's summer, and there's a saying that says, the coldest winter I had was a summer in San Francisco. I think that was Mark Twain, but it's pretty accurate. Although it's been good weather right now, like during the summer months. It's been not full, it's just very cold sometimes in the evenings, but we've had some good weeks of like sun and warm weather, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, I'm just overall optimistic about this year in San Francisco. I think I have to figure out a lot of things internally, and just what am I gonna do with my life? Where am I gonna settle down? Again, I'm not gonna stay in San Francisco. Of course, everything can happen. I should stop planning, because my plans never ever turn out the way that I want them to, but at least it's, for me, peace of mind. I kind of like need to plan. So what am I gonna do after this year in San Francisco professionally? Where do I want to live and all that? So I have to like figure out that, but for now I'm gonna enjoy San Francisco to the fullest for this year that I am going to live here. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and hope you like this video. Maybe it's not very, you know, helpful because you don't really have images either where I can show you San Francisco, but I just wanted to sit down and kind of like explain myself a little bit more, because that video that got 10,000 views, I will link it below. It's just ridiculous because it's such a small little video, and I feel so bad, like, oh, there's no like tips in there. So I hope I could help you with a little bit more of an insight of someone that have lived in San Francisco for a year. If you have any questions, please let me know. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching my vlog, and also welcome to my channel. Please give it a like if you like the video. or subscribe to my channel. I do upload vlogs every Thursday. Basically my life everywhere. So I've been very consistent this year. It was one of my New Year's resolutions. So I've been uploading a vlog every Thursday since New Year's. So yeah, just follow me around in San Francisco and all the fun stuff I do. And I do work for W Hotels as well. It's a pretty cool company to work for, and there's a lot of like fun opportunities there too. So, and I do a lot with work too, so I vlog about that as well. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next vlog.
Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I'm